this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel. And the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And it's up and good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Carr to throw on second down. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun!
On second down, here's Rosen. And the Raiders have got him. Bruce Irvin, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. From the gun, it's Rosen. Forced out to his left. This is Johnson. He's got it. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And a key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. Now Rosen on first down. And out of bounds right around the 20. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a second down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big game, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different long night.
Tackle made by Marcus Golden.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, Lynch. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So out now come the Cardinals. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Rosen to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard! No. Check! Patriot! Patriot!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now a handoff, Johnson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
Here we go now! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he's got Gresham. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Gun! 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 No. Check! Patriot! Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Former Tar Heel T.J. Logan. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Down. New 86-18.
On second down, here's Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. On the run, this is Jackson. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. They don't get it all back there, but they do get 8. And it sets up a 3rd and 15. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Logan. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it with Johnson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from the desert after this. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Shakes off the sack. And his pass incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Detroit!
Now Rosen looking to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They're going on 4th down. Rosen. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
Get set. Go. Get set.
Now it's Jackson. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on 1st down, Lynch. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. To throw after the play fake to Lynch. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Cooper's got it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jordy Nelson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've reached halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Johnson, and an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Hunt!
Rosen on 1st and 10. And Nelson's got it here right side. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Gun! 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 Leopard! Leopard! Hunt!
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! He's checking. Crash!
Again, it's Johnson. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
So much for halftime adjustments by the defense because you know they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain him. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure on the offensive side, they said there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going at them, keep handing them the football.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, Raider 2. Hey. Hey, Purdue. White Monday.
He'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Go, go. Get set, get set.
Here's Carr to throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Cooper was the intended target. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And now running right through it. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Back now here on EA Sports. First down, it's Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Josh Rosen scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Shotgun now for Carr. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. From the gun, it's Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rosen. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Leopard. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
We got three, fellas. We got 3. Hit! All right, now, lucky 56.
And now it's Rosen looking. It's caught. Nelson. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rosen will throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Rosen. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Gun! 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 Detroit! 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 Hot! Hot!
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And he's got Fitzgerald. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Touchdown, Cardinals! Chase Edmonds with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Dawson tacks on the point after, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Peters busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Carr gives to Marshawn. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
7:34.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. Steps away. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead. So That probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, they run with Edmonds. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Cardinals on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. On the carry, it's Edmonds. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Carr. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Dayon Buchanan in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Carr. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. One final try now for Carr. He completes it to Nelson. And he's brought down. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Cardinals, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7 and 3. And they will hit the road next week.